we would like to welcome to the stage Sasha Berlik from the Trade Desk. Please, let's give him a big round of applause.
Yeah, hi, thank you very much. Actually, I'm absolutely proud seeing one of the top executives of a global brand talking about nothing else than programmatic. Just imagine me, 2009, now 7 years ago, standing on stages talking about programmatic. Nobody really believed in the success of that. It was a kind of a niche, it was a new gadget or something like that. And now we're not disrupting anymore, by far not. Everybody is thinking about changing the whole marketing, the whole media planning department into programmatic units. They're all pulling up their sleeves and thinking about how to utilize data and all that. It makes me very, very proud. So, my name is Sasha Berlik. I'm the MD of the Trade Desk. I'm the EMEA of the Trade Desk. The Trade Desk is the largest global independent demand-side platform. We're not just the largest global independent demand-side platform, we're as well the fastest growing, and I'm pretty proud of that as well. So what I want to talk about, if I find the clicker, is, and here it is, the truth about programmatic. What does it mean? There's quite a lot of talk about programmatic, about what's possible in the future. We heard a lot about the future today. I want to talk about what's already possible. That kind of myth about programmatic, that some things are not possible yet. And I just want to raise some random topics which I think are very, very important for really everyone to understand that this is already possible. And these are not yet that possible. I think the first thing is transparency. Transparency is a topic raised in the last couple of months in various parts. On one hand, it's the price transparency, so 100% transparency of what you have to pay for media, what you have to pay to your agency, what you have to pay for data, and. So does this exist? Yes. The other thing is transparency/brand safety. So transparency of what you buy. Can you be 100% sure that what you want to buy is brand safe, it's clean, and that you are sure about what you're buying? And I would say here, partly yes as well. Let's talk about the first, the price transparency. How did the ad tech market look in the past? There were a couple of ad tech companies who played and still playing on both sides. On one hand, they are ad tech companies, meaning a demand-side platform. On the other hand, they own publishers. They are kind of media companies as well. Or they have integrated supply-side platforms. Means on one hand, they're optimizing the price for publishers, and on the other hand, they're optimizing the buying conditions for the media buyer. Doing some magic in the middle, and that just doesn't work. That's a kind of mistrust. I think that's a huge lack of transparency. So if you want to have 100% transparency in buying in your technology, you should utilize a technology which is 100% independent from the supply side. I think that's number one, to have 100% price transparency. The other thing is a bit more difficult. If it's about to be sure that what you buy is clean, is viewable, is brand safe. We all know about the user-generated content scandal, video scandal. More than 400 brands moved out of this user-generated content channel a couple of weeks ago. Is it possible to be transparent and brand safe in an open market environment with thousands and thousands of long-tail websites and user-generated content? It's partly possible, but it's only possible if you are allowed with your demand-side platform or your technology to utilize your brand safety tools, your viewability tools, all the software you personally license. If you're not able to use these technologies in walled gardens or in long-tail traffic, then transparency isn't possible here. But I see it very, very positive what happened, because I think it's now the era as well of premium content. More and more advertisers are now aware that brand safety is only possible on premium content. And on premium content, premium publishers, bought programmatically, 100% transparency is possible. And you have now the technologies where you can really prove and check if what you bought is really what you get. Yeah, so now you're in the driver's seat, but you have now as well the responsibility to really check if you bought something, for example, from Time Inc. or from the German Der Spiegel or whatever, if you really got the viewability you paid for, if you really got the ad placement you paid for. This is now possible. The technologies are there, but they are not utilized enough. So the advertiser, the agency, is now 100% back in the driver's seat, and it's not all about trust anymore. Audio. I've heard a lot about how audio is a nice tool in programmatic, but it's not scalable. It's a nice niche. Not true. Spotify, SoundCloud. There are a couple of platforms now consolidating all kinds of digital audio like Triton and AdSwiss. There are more than 500 million users globally listening to digital audio. And you can do advertising to them. You can advertise to users on the move. You can advertise to users in the kitchen. Think you're in the kitchen, you're cooking something, you listen to your Spotify playlist, and then you listen to the Procter & Gamble Bounty paper towel ad, or something like that. That's a positive brand perception, totally different. So if you think digital, if you think programmatic, never forget audio from now on. It's a scalable channel, and it really works. It's not just videos and ads, display ads, and so on. Audio is there as well. And in Europe, hopefully soon, more addressable TV than now. Offline measurement is getting better. Let me first talk about measurement in general. So in programmatic, measurement or attribution was mainly, Oliver talked about it, is CPC, click-through rate, viewability, CPA, and when it's about CPA, it's about last view or last click attribution. What is last click attribution? That's something we all know from search. Search is still 50% of all digital advertising budgets globally. 50% is search. And that's not real advertising. If I type in, buy Vodafone phone, the decision is already done. It's just navigation. Yeah? Advertising is informing a user about something new. It's winning hearts and minds. And so advertising is done up the funnel, and the better attribution we'll get in programmatic, the more we are able to get up the funnel with advertising, the more we are able to win hearts and minds. And I think that was one of the biggest blocker for digital in general, that attribution wasn't really comparable, but we're getting there now, faster and faster. And one example is offline measurement. What do I mean by offline measurement? Pretty simple. Is, for example, you're selling goods to shops. Most of you do. Or you have shops all over the world, hundreds, thousands. You take the revenues, average them by 100, and where you have good revenues, it's above 100, where you have lower revenues, below 100, and then for every location, you put an ID, and then you match the average to the ID and upload this to the DSP. I hope that makes sense. You upload it to a DSP, and then you allocate your whole digital budget to the revenue you made per store location. And then after 1 week, you upload the new revenues. And therefore, you're able to allocate your digital budgets to the ones who are better in revenue, there you put less digital budget, and the ones with the lower revenues, you put more digital budget on it. And you have now technical data providers like Factual, like AdSquare, who can give you very precise longitude-latitude data for all your store locations. Many advertisers are already starting the first test with offline attribution. It really works. So you really should think about it, talk to an agency to start the first test using it. Because if you don't use it, your competitor will do it. And that's one of the next major steps in programmatic. More ways than ever to tell your story. Or simply said, it's advertising is getting better. It's getting more immersive. It's the thing here is about to striking the right balance between brand perception and brand rejection. And the thing is, you have now in digital all these different channels. Yeah, you have mobile, you have audio, you have in-app, you have web, you have addressable TV, you name it, all these different channels. The biggest blocker in programmatic currently is the lack of creative formats. Yeah? The main reason why many companies don't utilize all the possibilities in programmatic is just they don't brief their creative department in a way that they produce enough creative formats. They don't spend enough money on creation. And so one of the most important things to rethink is that the creative department has to get closer, much, much closer to the final media execution, so that you're really able to utilize all the different channels, all the new different touch points with your potential user. Be aware of that. It's not just a technology tool. It's as well rethinking the possibilities you have now to advertise digital. Everything will be digital soon. And soon means in 3 to 5 years. Truly holistic campaigns are possible. What does that mean? With demand-side platform, you are now able to orchestrate all digital channels with one technology. That means you shouldn't think in silos anymore. You shouldn't think about approaching a user via audio, and then you have your mobile planner, and then you have your display planner, and then you have your addressable TV planner, and. No, you're now able to think from the user. You're able to think from all the different personas you have. And then you can do frequency capping, cross-device tracking, and you don't need to bombard your user anymore with the same message again and again, and then in the end, just look on the right frequency on your mobile channel, then compare this frequency with your addressable TV channel, and. You are now able to really build stories based on all your micro-target groups you have. It's a bit more work, of course. It needs to rethink the way you think media, of course. It's changing, and that's what Oliver said. It's changing the way how you do media planning. It's changing the whole way how you do marketing. But holistic campaigns in programmatic are possible now. But you have to use it. You have to challenge your agency. The agency trading desk, they are aware of that. They are the forerunners of programmatic. So, actually, that's what I wanted to say about the truth programmatic and what's possible and what you need to think about. And as you see, I'm very excited about the whole programmatic market. And if you look at where we currently are, the overall advertising budget globally is 640 billion. Programmatic is something like globally between 12 and 15. I don't know exactly how much. So something like 2%. We're in the early years. We're just leaving kindergarten. So even if there are challenges or problems or whatever, they will be solved. Absolutely. Yeah, I promise that. We are in the very, very early beginning, and the future is very, very bright. There are so many opportunities out there. And just let me say one last sentence here. It's what we are doing. And I said we are in the era of premium content. We are in the era of more refocusing on real content, on quality media. And quality media and funding quality media means funding journalism. Funding journalism and going a bit more away from user-generated content means as well fighting fake news. So the more you fund quality media, the more you fund quality journalism, it will be a better world. And I think the power and the expertise for all this is here in this room. Thank you very much.
That's fantastic, Sasha. Thank you very much. Really insightful, really, really good. Don't run away. I'm sure we've got some questions from this audience. They've been very good to us today. I don't believe they haven't got one question here. Who would like to ask Sasha a question? I know we've got some journalists in here as well. We can even talk about that.
Hey, come on.
Here we go, right at the front here. I'll come to you, Steve, don't worry. I'll sit down and I don't have to crouch. Come here, mate. There we go.
My question is really, you talked about the value of working as an independent. Thank you.
Yeah.
As an independent. How positively minded do you think the industry is toward independence, doing what they can do and surviving and not being killed off because of the threat that they potentially represent? Independence is a strong thing, but it's also a threatening thing as well. It's not always a welcome thing. And I just wonder how possible it is for technology-based businesses, particularly those that are in machine learning and programmatic, to create, exist and survive when what they offer may be a threat to the established operations who want to control in a different way.
I love this question. Now that's a very good one, yeah. I think that's the reason why we IPO'd. And we were I would say, the most successful IPO, EdTech IPO in the last 5 to 10 years. And we just IPO'd because of being independent, to keep the independence. Because if you don't have these independence, then you can't do what you want. And you can't just work for transparency and all our targets we want to. Because you're in a way biased. But that was the reason for IPOing. Yeah. So we can do what we want together with our clients. Thank you for this question.
That's a good approval from the speaker. We don't often get that for the questions. We have another one right at the front here as well. Don't worry. I don't have to sit next to you or cuddle you. It's okay. The microphone is coming.
That was a good one.
Very good.
Yeah, so it's Anya from the Association of TV and Radio Sales Houses. You mentioned audio and programmatic.
Yeah.
Do you think every brand should now be looking into audio strategies and moving into this direction, because it's more video that we talk about the changes for the programmatic world? What is the future of audio and programmatic?
I would say every brand who's doing radio commercials should now think programmatic. Yeah, if you don't have any experience with radio commercials, then maybe you shouldn't think at first thing about it. Yeah, but if you promote in the radio brand, from now on you have to do that programmatic as well. If not, then you're doing something wrong, or your competitor will do. Yeah.
Okay. Any more questions? One more here. This is good. Your second question of the morning. I like that.
Yeah, you're warming up. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's before lunch.
Don't worry. We can entice them. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So, what would be your thoughts about agencies buying their own DSPs or building their own transparency?
It depends on the business model. I think when you are, as an agency, are transparent with that, means you have your business unit with your own DSP, and this DSP, you're doing something special with this DSP, and this is 100% transparent and clear to the advertiser, then of course you can do that. Yeah, there are a couple of DSPs out there you as a big agency can buy. And if you want to build your business on top of it, do it. I think it's good. It's all about being transparent. And if your global brand wants to have an independent demand-side platform, and you offer them your own DSP, that's a lie. Yeah? But if you have it transparent, if you build your business on it, a couple of agencies are going this way, it's a smart move. But honestly, building your own DSP, I wouldn't recommend that. That costs at least 50 to 100 million, and that's too late.
Wow. Okay, well, I think we're almost out of time. So let's have a big round of applause for Sasha. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Okay. Wow.